Let me ask you a question. What would be possible for you if you could stop doing all of those manual tasks and your business ran on autopilot? In this interview series, I talk to some pretty amazing women about how they run and automate their businesses. So if putting your business on autopilot is of interest to you, then stick around and let's get into it. Hi and welcome. If we haven't met before, I'm Jacqui Money and I help overwhelmed, introverted solopreneurs scale to six figures with a tiny team and custom-tailored back-end systems so that they don't have to work more hours just to make more money. Joining me today is Nicole Kepek. She is a chai latte loving copywriter with 20 years of experience. Her happy place is writing sales pages, although she loves a good email sequence or web copy project too. Her mission is to help female business owners stand out from the crowd, attract their ideal clients, and sell out their signature offers with fun, feel-good copy, no icky bro marketing strategies, just relatable words that get readers to say, I want that. Welcome, Nicole.
Thank you, Jacqui. So nice to be here.
Yay, I'm so happy. I've been looking forward to this interview for so long. So share with us a little bit about your journey and what brought you to today.
Sure. I will try to keep it semi-short. I started copywriting 20 years ago, like it said in that bio. So I went to school for journalism, went to university, traveled a bit after, and then pretty much right away after graduating, I hopped into copywriting. So I was working for a bunch of different companies in their marketing department as a copywriter, senior copywriter, and then marketing manager. So it was anything from an education company, a fitness company, a bodybuilding company, and then later in my career, it was a design agency. So I was the copywriter on staff writing for all of the brands that we served. And this was anything from, print promotions to digital campaigns, web copy, like it was anything you can think of, I wrote for the client. So it was a great experience. It was really fun. I never had the thought of, I hate my life, I hate my boss, I hate my coworkers. I always loved my 9-to-5 job. But then somewhere along the way, I started copywriting for my own clients on the side. I started this little side hustle, Nicole Kepek Copywriting. And, it was just like a little thing I did on the side for extra trip money, stuff like that. And then it just grew and grew and grew. And then eventually I decided, okay, one of these things has to go. I can't be doing the 2-hour commute and the 9-to-5 and the side hustle and have a family. Like it was all so much. So then at some point, like years later, I did the side hustle for about 10 years.
Wow.
I quit my 9 to 5. I know it's a long time, especially now. Most people jump right in, which I kind of wish I had jumped in faster, but life circumstances, right? So I did the side hustle for a while, and then eventually my 9-to-5 job, I asked if I could go down to 3 days instead of 5. And that was kind of like the transition into it so that I could feel comfortable and my husband could feel comfortable and we'd have a better sense of, will this work, right? So I was at the 3-day stage. And then finally, only a couple of years ago, I quit the 9-to-5 and then I went full-time in my business. And around that time, I kind of switched my target audience too, because at the time I was serving local clients or marketing agencies, digital design agencies. And then when I went full-time, hopped on Instagram, I met so many different female entrepreneurs from all around the world. So suddenly my target audience changed, which I loved because I love serving this audience. And it's just, it's been amazing. I haven't looked back. Sometimes I wish I would have done it sooner, but you have to trust the timing, right?
I totally agree with that. I also wish we'd started sooner, but absolutely trust the timing. Probably if we'd started sooner, we wouldn't be where we are right now.
Exactly. And all that experience too, that I had along the way, working for those companies like that was really helpful. And even as I was side hustling, I was learning how to perfect the client experience, not perfect, it's not perfect, but to improve the client experience myself, like get used to sending out invoices and emails and just having that relationship. So that definitely helped with where I am now.
Yeah, absolutely. I always find coming from a job into having your own business, there's a lot of little things that you don't realize that need to go in like on behind the scenes of a business?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even with the side hustling, when I went full time, I was like, wow, there's so much to do. It's not just delivering the service. It's not just copywriting for clients. It's all the other things. You have to become a master at marketing. Well, I was in marketing, so that helped, but you just have to become a master at so many things, or outsource, which I'm always a big fan of.
Absolutely. So that brings me into my next question. You know that I'm all about automation.
Yes.
And it's actually because I myself had the problem of having to do all these new things and not having time to actually serve clients. And so being an introvert, and I know that you're an introvert as well, we don't want to manage people. And so I had to figure out another way. And when I landed on automation, it was like the whole world opened up. So my question is actually, what was the first thing you actually automated in your business?
Yeah, great question. I think the first thing I automated was my contact form on my website with an automated reply, with an automated email back, because before then I was getting inquiries just through Gmail, like people wanting to, ask questions about my process. And then it's like, as soon as I would get that email, like the internal timer in my head would start, like, okay, they emailed me 2 hours ago, I got to get back to them. But what if I was busy working or running errands or out with a family? Like, then I was like, okay, do I hop on my phone and reply, or do I continue living my life? So I just felt like it was always kind of a rush. So once I set up that automation with the form and the automated email, it kind of took me away from, it removed me from that, where the client could still be seen and heard without me being there. So now they get an automated reply saying, thank you for filling in my form. Basically, choose your next copy adventure. You can, if you know you want to work with me, you can use this link to book a VIP day. If you're not sure, you want to meet me first, here's a link to book a call. And then even in the PS, I have something like, here are a few writing samples. So you can see my style, my tone of voice. You can see how I've written for different industries, because that's another question I get too. Like, have you written for my industry? And can you show samples? So I wanted to be preemptive and have those in the email so that, again, I'm not sending all those manual emails back and forth. Oh, here's a sample, here's a sample. So yeah, it just makes life so much easier for me, and I think for the client, because they get that nice, thoughtful experience as soon as they fill out the form.
Absolutely. And for me, I specialize in the client experience, and this is my all-time favorite answer to this question. I love it. So you kind of killing two birds with one stone. You serving the client and you serving yourself in the same in the process.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm even looking at at the process I have now, and there are still some things where I see like, I could probably automate this more. And even that step right now, they fill out the form, then they get the email with the option to book a call. And I'm thinking, it might be even simpler for the client if I just have the call times and everything right on my contact page, where they can see my schedule right away, book that call. So even removing one step, so there's still room for even some more automation.
Absolutely. And so in this whole process, did you figure out how to do this yourself, or did you hire somebody to help you with this?
No, somebody had told me about HoneyBook, so I use HoneyBook right now. So for the most part, I like it. There are a couple limitations, but yeah, that's the route I went with. So it just, it made life easier. I went with that one because I heard it was easier than a couple of the other ones, but I know you can set this up in multiple different ways. It doesn't have to be through a CRM system like that.
No, absolutely not. But it's just, that's the beauty of automation. You can set up all these things in so many different ways using tools that you actually currently have in your tech stack. You don't have to go and purchase HoneyBook if you don't want to, or purchase Dubsado if you don't want to, or any of the tools. You can make your own tools work just as well for you that you're actually currently using and paying for. So that's another thing I love about automating all the things. So we touched a little bit on what it did for you, but can you expand on that a little bit? Like, what did putting this automation in place do for you and your business?
I think just in general, it leaves a better impression with clients. So they go through the process and, of course, their happiness depends on the quality of the work that I deliver. Obviously, they have to love the copy, but it's also the client experience too, right? So you want them right from the get-go to feel like they're the number one person in your business life. Like you want them to feel seen and heard and like they're your priority at the time. So I feel like having these automations in place helps do that because yeah, it gives them that thoughtful experience throughout the journey. And I know sometimes people might have the misconception that, oh, automations are impersonal or, it's too robotic, but I would say the opposite. I would say the opposite because then you can really take your time and even like with templated emails, you can take your time and craft those with more thoughtfulness instead of sending them like in a hurry last minute. And then you've got typos and stuff. And then afterwards you're thinking, oh, I should have added that. I forgot to say this. So I think if you do all that stuff in advance and set up those systems, it's more personal in a way. And then you can always tweak those templates later too.
That's such a good point that you made now about people often think it's impersonal, but it can be personalized if you just work at it a little bit better and think through the strategy of what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think probably when I first set those things up, they might have sounded a bit robotic, but then I thought, oh, wait, I'm a copywriter. I need to add some personality here. So you just, you tweak the copy and you inject your personality. So even though you're not physically there typing that email or sending that response, they can still see your personality or get a sense of your personality because again, you've taken the time to create it in a thoughtful way.
I absolutely agree. And so my last question for you is, what are your favorite 3 automations currently in your business and why?
Okay, so I would definitely still say the contact form because that continues to work for me all the time. Like, with serving businesses around the world, somebody could fill out my contact form in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping. So yeah, I just love that that's continuing to work for me. I have a freebie sequence. Like freebie video that leads to an email sequence, a welcome sequence with some sales emails. So that's all set up. So again, people just get like they're welcomed in a really warm way versus, hey, thanks for signing up. And then that's it. Like that's better than nothing, but to have a nice welcome sequence that leads into something more before they hop onto your weekly newsletters. Like I'm glad I have that set up. So that's a big one. And then I would say just some templated emails that I have set up in my CRM system. So for a number of different situations. So say somebody books a call with me, I have a templated email to send out that says, thanks for booking a call. Hey, before we hop on the call, here's a PDF doc with FAQs that I often receive about my process. So even before we've hopped on the call together, they have a bit more information about my process. Because sometimes, like, even though people have gone to your website and filled out your contact form, they don't always read your whole website. So you think it's so obvious, like, well, my price was right there or my process was right there, but they don't always read everything. So it's just another way to kind of answer questions that are going to come up.
Yes, I love that. I absolutely love that. And I love that your 3 top favorite automations all have to do with email.
Yeah, that's true. They do. Yeah, I mean, I remember early in my business, like hearing words from Jenna Kutcher and Amy Porterfield, like they're all saying, don't build your business on borrowed land. They like just social media, get your email list set up and nurture those people because they can become your raving fans, which I have found to be true. So yeah, I try to nurture my email list as much as possible.
Yeah, for all of you out there, take this tip from both of us. Your email is very important.
Yes.
And nurturing your email list is very important. So Nicole, thank you so much for being here. I thoroughly enjoyed this interview and we are going to blast this everywhere and have all your details everywhere. So if anybody needs copywriting, Nicole is your lady. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jacqui. Talk soon.
Let me know in the comments below if you had a magic wand and could automate the part of your business where you are spending the most time, what would that be? If you want to check out more videos like this, where I talk about how to put your business on autopilot so that you're not working more hours or hiring a huge team, be sure to subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next video.